Okay, we're going to do a series of videos looking at the basic fundamentals of Taichi. Going to start with just the stance. Basic structure you're looking at for when you're in a shoulder width stance. Okay, so what you're trying to do is get all your weight centered over your feet. At this point, it's a double weighted stance rather than a single weighted. If you read the classic, it would say Tai Chi is always moving. You're moving from one side to the other, but you're always passing through the double weighted spot, and this is how you start the form. Okay, so what you're looking for is the feet about shoulder width apart. If you're not sure where that are, and most people tend to think their shoulders are wider than they are. So if you start with your feet close together, turn your toes out 45 degrees, turn your heels out so your insides of your feet are parallel. That's roughly your shoulder width. Okay. Your knees want to be slightly relaxed, so if we go sideways, so rather than having your knees locked, a lot of people stand with their knees locked. I have slight hyperextension on my knees, so they bend backwards. So what that tends to do is tilt my hips forward. Okay, so letting my knees relax, let my hips flatten off. Okay, you want your back vertical. It's not your back, not your spine vertical, but your back. So what you don't want to be is sort of leaning forward or back. A lot of people tend to lean back. So it depends with what's causing the change. So if your hips are, if you have anterior tilt on your hips, the tendency is to lean forward. So there the correction is just flat tailbone here. You get it so it's pointing at the floor. Okay, that'll bring your hips level, which will bring your shoulders back in line. So you're looking for a straight line from the centre of your shoulders, through the centre of your hips, through to just in front of your ankle bone. The other thing is people quite often stick their chests out. So my ribs are quite lifted here, and I'll stand leaning like that. The hips are fine. So the other thing to look at is think about dropping your ribs to point at your back. So that'll take me from here to there. So classics call it raising the back and hollowing the chest. The head should be erect, so it's not really trying to stretch up. You imagine you've got a string coming from the crown point of your head, which is if you draw a line from the nose across the spine and from the tip of each ear over the top, where those two lines cross is a centre. So again, that centre spot wants to be in line with your shoulders. So if you down here a bit, sort of bring your head back, but you don't want your chin up, so you pull your chin in. And when you pull your chin in, you should feel your neck stretching a bit. It takes a little bit of getting used to. So having a mirror to look in or filming yourself doing it is a good way of checking your posture if you haven't got anyone to help check it for you. The other thing to think about is the arms. So rather than having your arms to the side, flat, just relax. You want a little bit of gap. So just say like get enough room to get a fist in under your armpit or a little orange, and we just relax. Arms relaxed. Okay, if you want to take the practice deeper, all you do is lower your stance. So going from knees just relaxed, you can bend your knees. So what you don't want really is the knees to go over your toes. You still want to keep the weight. It should feel like the weight on your feet is evenly distributed over the whole area of the sole of your foot, and pretty much 50-50 between both feet. Okay, so if you find your weight in your toes, either your knees have gone too far forward or you're leaning forward, which again takes your knees past your toes. If you find the weight in the heels, possibly because you push back. So just sort of play around with your movement. Start listening to your feet, which will tell you where the pressure is. Okay, I think that's probably enough to get to have a look at. So thank you for listening and enjoy.